Hello, everybody. Shel Broadnax here with Real Estate Staging Association with another episode of Stage or Talk. And I'm very excited today to have two amazing guests with me, Amy Parker and Amanda Shields. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's start out with Amy. Amy, can you tell everybody where you are from?
So I'm in the beautiful state of New Hampshire, and it's really, really cold here right now.
Yes, we've all been catching up about this polar freeze everywhere. It's crazy. And what's the name of your business?
Parker House Designs.
Very good. And Amy, tell everybody what award you won this last year at the Home Staging Industry Awards.
So I won the MCE Instructor of the Year this year. It was such a shock. It was amazing and really felt validating after a lot of work and a lot of classes. So it was very humbling. So I appreciated it.
Well, it was very well deserved, and we can tell you that we appreciate working with you. And I know that when we teach the MCE class, there's some paperwork that needs to be done, and Amy gets her paperwork in on time. She's a joy to work with. She trained more agents than any of the other 50 instructors for that year. And so we really appreciate that. That's somebody really making a significant impact on your local level. So I know you've changed the climate locally to be more positive towards staging, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, it's been a long process, and that was the big thing for me was I need to get in front of agents to educate them. In our state, staging still isn't a thing yet, and I think that happens in every state, but having an opportunity to offer credits got real estate agents in the door. So then they would actually hear what we were saying. So there's teaching here in the state, and it feels great to finally be having an opportunity to educate throughout the state.
Awesome. I love it. And Amanda, can you tell everybody where you're from, the name of your company, and the award that you won this year?
Yes, I am from Canada, Newmarket, Ontario, which is about an hour north of Toronto. My company is called Mint Condition Staging. And the award that I won was the Rising Star Home Stager of the Year for the occupied category. And yeah, it's nice to be validated and know as a beginner that I'm on the right track, so that felt good. And it helped me get noticed, of course, by real estate agents in my area. It gives me something to talk about on my social media and something that I can sort of brag about.
Absolutely. And you said other agents, since they've known about it, they've asked you to do some co-marketing or some videos with them?
Yeah. That once they see that you won an award, it definitely triggered a few agents asking me to collaborate on doing videos for their social media, which helps my business as well. And, gets me in front of people on more than just my own social platforms. So yeah, it's been interesting.
I love the word that you used, collaborate. And yes. That's really, I think, the key, whereas a lot of stagers and agents, it's like a block that they don't understand. This isn't just somebody that you want to hire. When you hire, you can fire. You want to collaborate. You want somebody else to team. You want people you can trust. You want that A-team.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm all about collaborating with agents or other tradespeople just to, get more exposure to your business and to what you're trying to do. So, yeah.
Where's the Lakelands near you? Is that near you or is that far away?
Me?
Yeah.
Sorry, the Lakelands?
I think it's called the Lakelands area.
I don't know that area.
I will double check. I think that's the association that contacted us. But I think they were north and kind of out of the area where we had instructors. So I'll double check and see
where
that is, because we had an association contact us yesterday. But I think that's what they said the name of it is, and I just don't remember the cities involved.
It's not a major city up north of Toronto, so I don't know. I've never heard of it. I know Ontario pretty well.
Check that out for sure.
Yeah.
So what's the climate like in your area? What's it been like for you in the last couple of years of building the relationships with agents? Has it been super difficult, or do people kind of get it where you are already, or did you have to really set the foundation?
I feel there's a real split. Like there's no set, this is how agents are. Every agent is different. And I sort of group them into categories. You have, your agents that totally get it and they're all about staging and they stage every property. And then you get the other agents that don't believe in it, so you get a big mix, I find. I haven't seen a real consistency, to be honest. So it's interesting. It's a challenge. I feel I've tried to kind of categorize all the different, objections I'm going to get and how to sort of deal with each different category. So it's been a learning curve. I mean, I've just started my business just over a year ago. So it's been a learning curve. I also had a baby in April.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've been trying to still run the business, but it's been a challenge, the work-life balance. So, but yeah, back to your question. I find it's a real mix, and I'm still trying to learn about the agents in my area. But yeah.
So Amy, same question for you. When you were starting, did you have to really bang the pavement and set the foundation, or were people a little bit more open to it? And then second part of the question, since you've been teaching the MCE course, is it giving you a lot more insight to the inner workings of a real estate agent and their resistance?
Absolutely. So, yeah, we have a wide variety of where the agents are coming from, but we have had to lay the foundation in New Hampshire to educate, and then do it some more is really where we're at. And so it has been very interesting to see the difference between our different market centers. So if I do a class, let's say on the southern part of the state, which is near the Massachusetts border, it's very, the agents are very progressive. They're into it, they understand, and even if they're not using staging, they're open to any ideas that we're putting forward for them. The further north we get, the less apt they are to be open. It's a very interesting dynamic, and it's interesting to see. We kind of equate it to kind of the frugality of New Englanders because they want to do everything themselves. So it's still about, okay, they want to do everything themselves, but how do we bridge the gap between that and how much we can help them in the industry to make their lives easier? So I find that in those classes, it's about trying to bring them to the idea like, we are professionals and we can do this for you, and it frees you up to be at the closing table more often. When you talk about it in those terms, it makes a lot more sense for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It is one of those things like, how many hats do they want to wear? And, we all know the difference, such a big difference, because like we teach in the class, you have 72 hours minimum of prep time for a job. Do you have a warehouse? Do you have a moving truck?
Right.
Workers' comp insurance? Do you have everything? No, you have a wingback chair, a throw, and a St. Michael's ficus tree, and you stuck that next to a fireplace and called it stage. That's what we see a lot of that. Even in, like I was saying earlier before we started the show, is that, I'd love to move to North Carolina. I've been watching the market for about a year and a half. And I'm blown away with the stuff that's out there, where these pictures on the MLS, it's like, who y'all marketing to? I know in the MCE class we have a slide that's got like what's Jason with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Maybe Jason Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The picture of the marketing like a dungeon. And really comical when you sit there and you look at it, and it's like, I don't think every house should be staged, obviously. There's going to be you can't put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. So, any stage or work their salt off, obviously, if the staging isn't going to help the situation, they're going to walk away from the home. And there are definitely some homes like that, but there are other homes where people are living in them. So many improvements could have been made. And even the people, what I find is the homeowners don't necessarily understand, and they don't kind of put those pieces together in their brain that this is likely their number one asset is the equity in that property. And they want to get the equity out of that property when they sell it. And they're trusting a real estate agent to get that equity for them. And then when you see the telephone photos and everything is dark and dingy and walls are dirty and things are broken and there's been zero merchandising to somebody's number one asset, it does really blow me away. And so I look at these and it's just like swipe, 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 but it doesn't even interest me because some of them you can't even see past everything.
It's true.
Really
It's true.
Now,
I get,
go ahead.
sorry. No, I see a lot of that sort of. So where I'm located, I'm like about an hour north of Toronto. So I'm sort of in the middle of Toronto and like the next bigger city, which is Barrie. So I can service both. And I do see a big difference between like more metropolitan area than more north you get. I find the agents up there tend to be less and less about staging. They don't see the value as much. And, you know, the homeowners aren't as educated as well as to what the potential is. And they're sort of naive to their agents, whatever their agents tell them. And it's just sort of, yeah. So I think that's why I see such a big mix, because when
we're breaking up a little bit here.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm just looking at mine to see if it's my internet or not. We just had a little wobble, but I think it.
Okay, you guys are okay on my end. So, yeah.
Okay, so everybody's frozen on my end, but I can still hear.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, so I think that's why I see such a polar opposite sometimes, is because I'm working with such two different cities, really, right? So different areas. So, like you were saying, Amy, that. You know, you get a real mix, and I think that's sort of the same reason as me.
Yeah.
So let me ask you both, since you have both now have said that you see a difference in agents just based on in your own geographic area, I think I know for sure from the social media posts that we read and when members call for some coaching sessions, is that stagers don't understand when to cut their losses and go fish someplace else. So when you see something like that, what is your recommendation? You see a lot of stagers just saying the same thing. I'm trying to get this agent to get it, then get it, get it. And it's like they're fishing in a pond.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes
it's gotta, stager to get out of the pond.
I've struggled with that, especially when I started, which was not that long ago. You just keep trying. You don't want to give up. But I've realized now that sometimes, you have to look for your ideal customer. Everyone's heard that. And sometimes it's just not going to work out. So you just have to not take it so personally. You tried, and I don't know, you just have to know sometimes when to stop investing your efforts and your money into advertising to the same people that are not biting, right? So yeah, it's a challenge.
That's a good word, investing, because you just know that, because people, they're really investing their time in something that's not giving a return.
Yeah.
You hope that if they're going to get a return, that they're going to get that magic job that's going to, explode their business. That never happens.
Yeah. And I was taught too, and everyone's heard of the 8-step marketing funnel where you're supposed to touch the clients a certain amount of times before, and it's, you do that. But if you're not, I don't know, it's hard to know when to stop because you're told one thing, but then on the other end, you're thinking, well, is it, is it really worth it? And what am I doing here? So I've struggled with that with my business. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Amy, you'll probably agree. Stagers, once they get into it, if they're recognizing that agents, and I'm really talking about people, they want to go after this one agent, and the one agent doesn't get it, and they keep pitching that one person over and over and over. Amy, have you ever heard a story in your staging career where that PETA client was the one that blew up someone's business and opened it for them?
No. No. I haven't, and it's such an interesting thing after several years in the business, getting to a point where, yes, you need to find your target market of clients, right? But for me, it kind of came around to, I was looking at my top 5 agents that I work with, and I decided to figure out like what about them makes it great and easy and fun to work with them. And it's all about who they are as people and who they attract, because if they're awesome people, their clients every time are awesome, right? Like I can't wait to get to them. And so I'm fostering more and more relationship with them and finding ways, how do I make it even easier for them to promote me? So it's new brochures or it's new, videos. That's something on my list for this year, is trying to find ways. Like one of the offices I work with asked me to do a video that they'll send out as an introduction to any potential person that they've talked to and done a listing presentation to. They're doing a series of videos, and mine is one of them, saying, hey, this is why you want to stage, and this is who I am and who would come to your house. They already know who I am before I even walked in the door. So it's just trying to find those people. And when I start working with someone and I'm getting even one red flag, I take it as a red flag. It makes it a lot easier, because now I'm like, yeah, really my people. It's not clicking. So it's just an interesting dynamic. And I think that comes in time, that you feel comfortable being like, yeah, I'm out. It's not going to work.
Yeah. So when you're talking about your top 5 agents and they all had similar things about them for you to be able to figure out what's your perfect client. So you've got a lot of their own personality and their behaviors and who they are and their integrity and what they stand for. What other things did you notice about their business similarities across the line of those 5 agents? Did they have certain things, the way they work, that were similar?
Yeah, I mean, they all have really strong systems in place. And so they have an education component to their clients, so that when I'm walking in the door, it's been a very strong introduction to what to expect. And then I do that again when I send an email saying, hey, I'm coming and this is what you can expect from our appointment. And so we're all kind of moving together in the same way, and then they'll follow up after I leave. So it's always a systematic approach, and those agents that are kind of flying all over the place by the seat of their pants, there isn't consistency. And so that I find that that's a big difference with agents, at least in our area.
Yeah. And the other thing that I've noticed too, that I'd recommend with people, when was it? The other day or last week, I did an interview with Lawrence Casanova. We call him Kaz, and he was the real estate agent of the year in the home staging industry. And he's a newbie. He's only been selling real estate for like 2.5 or 3 years. But here's the thing about newbie real estate agents. You can find them, and there's so many of them out there. There's hundreds of thousands of real estate agents producing every single month. And those newbie real estate agents, a lot of them have the same issues that a newbie stager will have as far as getting everything going, funding, just a little bit of everything within their particular business. Maybe not sure where to go. They don't have the roadmap per se. But if you can find a new real estate agent who's hungry, be all over that. Kaz is hungry. He went into this business and he's like, oh no, I'm going to do something with this. And he had that very, very positive attitude. He bought into it immediately. He understands that it works. And I believe he doesn't take listings if they're not willing to do it. And he's selling left and right. But you got people that are hungry. Even a seasoned real estate agent, someone who's been in the business for a while, if they're hungry and they still like doing what they're doing and they're producing, that's the ones that I want to be working with.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah.
You definitely get it. So Amanda, what is going on with your business right now? Anything that you want to let people know about?
Well, up here at this time of year, it gets a little bit slow with the snow. So I've actually been doing a lot of redesign. I've got a lot of redesign clients coming my way these days, which has been fun. And I love having the balance there. In terms of my business, no, I'm just growing. Both my kids are in daycare now, so I have an opportunity to kind of grow and really do the things now that I've wanted to do over the last 10 months. And I'm just excited about 2019 and just growing my business trying to network more and meet more people, get in front of people. I'm finding, getting face-to-face and networking has been really important for my business and my social media presence as well.
Yeah.
Pushing that and, just staying top of mind. So.
And Amy, how about you? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
So I am still trying to plan a bunch of classes for this coming year because there's never enough, education going on. So I'm in the process of booking a lot of those in the next few months. And then about a year and a half ago, I really started talking to my staging clients about working with them, decorating their new homes, like whenever they make the shift. And that has been going really well. So I keep getting calls about that, which has been great this time of year for the same reason. It's cold. There isn't a lot going on here. Our agents here are really pushing their selling clients to start now instead of like what you'd consider spring market. They're actually pushing for February listings, like let's get going, because there's still no inventory here. So they're trying to build that up too. So I'm doing a little bit of both, but I'm excited to go on the decorating side too, because I really enjoy that part of it because it's a lot more personalized and I really click with my clients when we stage. So it's fun to do something than trying to switch things out for staging purposes.
Yeah, awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
And Amy, can you give everybody your website if anybody's listening and you're tell them what area you're in and your website if anybody's looking for a stager or redesign work.
Yeah, so I work a 50-mile radius around my town in Alton, New Hampshire. So I'm in the Lakes region area, but I travel outside of that. And my website is www.parkerhouse-designs.com.
Awesome. And Amanda, same for you. Let everybody know where you're at in your website.
So I service Simcoe County, York Region, and the GTA. My website is mintconditionstaging.com, and I can also be found on Instagram at mintconditionstaging.
Awesome. Well, ladies, this has been a pleasure to chat with you today. I am so glad you took some time out of your day today. And for anybody else that's listening, we have some events coming up. RESACon is our large annual event every year. It's in July 2019 in Las Vegas. So check out resaconvention.com. In the next couple days, we're going to be announcing all of our speakers. We just finalizing that this week and getting the new website up and going. I'm super excited. And then we have resaconnectatlanta.org. Check us out in Atlanta at America's Mart. We're going to do a great 2-day event called RESA Connect, where we have 1 day of education. And this education is going to be featured more on the seasoned stager, or actually any stager who wants to start preparing now and their business for later. So if you're looking about one day you want to retire, great information here, how to set up your business correctly with your assets, even tax liabilities, business valuations, how to make your business more valuable. Something that we're finding now that a lot of stagers are in a point in their business where they're starting to think, I need an exit strategy. And then they're reaching out to business brokers and valuators and saying, hey, how do I sell my business? And they're being told, you've got about 1 to 3 years worth of work that you need to do to make your business nice and tidy so it's attractive for a buyer. So we have professionals speaking about that as well, even about how to sell to your current team and how to set up your team ahead of time. So one day when you do want an exit strategy, you can have some succession planning and maybe sell it to somebody who's working with you, which is always a great idea. And we have Anthea Click in Nashville. She's amazing. She's got a killer team, and she's going to be talking about building your team. And then Ryan Marsh is going to come out, and he's going to talk about scaling your business in order to buy wholesale. So you can afford financially to be able to make smart financial decisions throughout the year to be able to buy the inventory. And then, of course, we're going to go on a tour of all the vendors at the RESA buying group who happen to have showrooms in Atlanta. So check that out as well. I think that wraps it up. Any other last announcements or anything anybody wants to give comments on?
No.
That's another episode of Stager Talk in the can. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Until next time, happy staging.